Good evening, you're watching News Today at 9 p.m. I'm Preeti, Choudhry. Our top focus over the course of the next 40 minutes. Well, the Congress inaugurated its new headquarters today, in which Rahul Gandhi made a speech. And the charge that he made at the RSS chief suggested that Rahul has alleged charges of treason against the RSS head. The BJP, of course, drew the urban Naxal parallel to Rahul Gandhi. The face-off reignites over the Samvidhan showdown. The BJP also has turned around and said that Rahul Gandhi needs to be charged for sedition. All of that coming up. All right, our top focus is Rahul Gandhi, who took the occasion of the inaugural of the new headquarters of the Congress to retort to RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat's true independence remarks, saying BJP RSS have captured every institution, but it is his "I'm fighting against the Indian state itself" remark that triggered a big political firestorm. The BJP claimed that Rahul has declared war against the nation, linking his remarks to George Soros and calling him an anti-national.
We are now fighting the BJP, the RSS and the Indian state itself.
Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi sparks a political firestorm. At the inauguration of the new Congress headquarters in Delhi, Rahul Gandhi hit out at RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat's remark that India attained true independence on Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha Day. But while accusing Bhagwat of anti-constitutionalism, the Congress leader claimed he was having to fight not just the BJP and RSS, but even the Indian state.
If you believe that we are fighting a political organization called the BJP, that we are fighting a political organization called the RSS, you have not understood what is going on. The BJP and the RSS have captured every single institution of our country. We are now fighting the BJP, the RSS and the Indian state itself.
Rahul Gandhi also accused Bhagwat of treason and insult to freedom fighters.
Mohan Bhagwat has the audacity to inform the nation every 2 or 3 days what he thinks about the independence movement, what he thinks about the constitution. In fact, what he has said yesterday is treason, because it is stating that the constitution is invalid, it is stating that everything, the fight against the British was invalid, and he has the audacity to say this publicly. In any other country, he would be arrested and tried. That is the fact, right? To say that India did not get independence in 1947 is an insult to every single Indian person.
The Congress leader was referring to a speech made by Bhagwat earlier this week.
अनेक शतकों से परिचक्र झेलने वाले भारत के सच्चे स्वतंत्रता की प्रतिष्ठा उस दिन हो गई। स्वतंत्रता थी, प्रतिष्ठित नहीं थी।
The BJP went all guns blazing at the Congress leader, accusing him of colluding with anti-India forces.
It is our misfortune that we have a part-time an irresponsible, immature leader of opposition in Rahul Gandhi, who also happens to be guided by forces like George Soros, forces that are inimical to the integrity of our country.
Well, I don't know what this is. Either it's a temporary loss of, derailment of the mental coordinates, or it's the Soros toolkit. But why? How can any Indian, and let alone an elected member of parliament, say that he's against the Indian state?
Under fire for Rahul Gandhi's controversial statement, the Congress rushed to firefight.
देखिए, आप सब जानते हैं संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को नीतिगत तरीके से जो कमजोर करने का काम केंद्र सरकार कर रही है, जो विश्वसनीयता होनी चाहिए निर्वाचन आयोग की, संस्थानों की, उसमें कमी आ रही है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि पारदर्शिता हो और जवाबदेही तय हो। अगर हम लोग को सवाल पूछते हैं सदन के अंदर, सदन के बाहर, उसके जवाब मिलने चाहिए। तो जो संस्थाएं हैं उनको निष्पक्ष, ट्रांसपेरेंट और क्रेडिबल होना पड़ेगा और हम लोग अपना संघर्ष जारी रखेंगे सड़कों पे, सदन के अंदर।
तो राहुल गांधी उसको बचाने की बात कर रहे हैं। देश को समझना चाहिए कि अगर मोहन भागवत जी, कंगना रनौत ने कहा था तो देश ने हल्के में लिया था, लेकिन अब मोहन भागवत जी ने कहा है, तो इसका मतलब वो एक जैसी स्क्रिप्ट है और उस स्क्रिप्ट में देश के संविधान को नकारने की खुली वकालत हुई।
All right, so at one end you have Rahul Gandhi that is accusing the RSS chief of treason, and then you have the BJP which is accusing Rahul Gandhi of sedition. So the questions we asked this evening: Rahul Gandhi's Indian state remark out of line. Was it a slip of tongue? He didn't articulate his thought well, where he used the term Indian state. Did the RSS chief insult freedom fighters? Because the RSS chief said that true independence was got on Pran Pratishtha, when the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Mandir happened in 2024 and not in 1947. Did the RSS chief insult freedom fighters? Those are the big questions we are taking to our viewers this evening and our panelists who are joining us. Welcome on the show, Charan Singh Sapra, Congress spokesperson, Tuhin Sinha, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, Ashutosh, political analyst, Rajat Sethi, political analyst. Charan Singh Sapra, the sheer fact that you have the leader of opposition use the term that we are fighting against the RSS, the BJP and the Indian state. What must a common citizen of India infer from that?
See, Preeti, I would like to explain that Shri Rahul Gandhi was speaking on the broader political scenario in the country. The way the institutions have been captured by the people who are following the ideology of RSS or the people who are closer to the BJP. He was relating to that. And further, he was also talking about the level playing field which the Election Commission was talking. Election Commission and the process of Election Commission, we have seen that it is not a level playing field. They are not answering the questions raised by the opposition party. Further, the rules of the Election Commissions have been altered. They have been amended. These were the things on which Shri Rahul Gandhi was talking, and I would like to make it clear that the actual political storm, I would like to say, was rigged up by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat when he said that India got independence when the Ram Mandir was made. He totally negated the Indian independence in 1947.
Okay.
Now, Preeti, this is a larger conspiracy of RSS and Bharatiya Janata Party. They don't want the younger generation, they don't want the generation of today to know about the independence of 1947. They want people to forget, because BJP or RSS had no role to play in that independence. The people or the leaders of Hindu Mahasabha and RSS were working as stooges of Britishers. They were working like agents of Britishers. They have no history of Indian independence. That's why the BJP is against the independence which we got in 1947. And largely Mohan Bhagwat has insulted not only
Charan Singh Sapra, allow me a rebuttal when I bring in, while I bring in our other
freedom fighters they have insulted.
Sir, allow me a rebuttal. You know, we'll come to what the RSS chief said and what one might infer from that later. But the sheer fact, Charan Singh Sapra, that a spokesperson of the Congress has to come on the show and explain in detail on what Rahul Gandhi really meant where he used the terminology Indian state. Isn't that problematic? Because many would suggest that when you use the Indian state, you're the leader of opposition in the Indian state, you fight elections in the Indian state, but to use that term. You know, it's a question that I ask you. Was it, so therefore allow me to ask the question. Was it a slip of tongue? Was it, you know, a problem in articulation that he used the wrong term? Is that what the problem was?
No, Preeti, the thing is clear. Whenever the BJP or RSS is caught on a wrong foot, they, you know, indulge and they try to hide behind either George Soros or urban Naxals or any other such things. So BJP has tried, you know, to take a feather out of it and they just want to do a smear campaign, which is not possible. Rahul Gandhi was largely talking about the broader prospect of the country. And he was talking about what Mohan Bhagwat has said. In fact, the current dispensation should take action on Mohan Bhagwat. This is a clear case of treason.
All right, let's just for once agree that the BJP is trying to run a propaganda and a smear campaign. But the larger question, Tarun Singh Sapra, and I'll come back to you, I'll circle back to you on that question is, did Rahul Gandhi allow the BJP to have a foot in the door to propel that campaign by using the kind of language that he did? I'll come right back to it. I'll circle back to you. Allow me to bring in Tuhin Sinha into this conversation. Tuhin Sinha, the BJP has made its point very clear on the usage of the terminology Indian state, that we are fighting against the BJP RS Indian state, quote unquote, by Rahul Gandhi. And you've said this is nothing short of sedition. But what Rahul Gandhi also suggested, what the RSS chief said, about the 1947 freedom attained by India, and saying that wasn't the moment, the real moment was the Pran Pratishtha, was treason. In fact, it was an insult to freedom fighters who gave their life for this country.
Good evening, Preeti. Good evening, everybody. I will come to both of those aspects which you just mentioned, but today Rahul Gandhi has crossed a dangerous red line. He has crossed the Lakshman Rekha, and no Indian in his right sense, in his right mind, should venture into that seditious zone which Rahul Gandhi has ventured into. And this statement today, this statement of his today should not be seen in isolation. It should be seen alongside with what he said in March 2024, when he said, Hindu dharm mein ek shabd hai shakti, hamari ladai us shakti ke saath hai. So imagine here is a person who, by his own confession, is not only fighting the BJP, is not only fighting the government, he is also fighting the Indian state. He is also fighting the Hindu dharma, because Shakti is, intrinsic, it is innate to the Hindu religion. Now, I shudder to think what sort of an ideology would such a person belong to? Because honestly, somebody who has such a pathological aversion to all of these four entities would either, subscribe to the ideology of radical Islamic groups, Naxal groups, or probably would be invested in the deep state. That's point number one. Point number two, you refer to the statement of Adarniya Mohan Bhagwat ji. What did Mohan Bhagwat ji say? While we attained freedom in 1947, the true freedom came last year. Now, it is a fact that political freedom, nobody is disputing that India's Independence Day is 15th August 1947. But yes, we believe that the spiritual freedom, we believe there is something called cultural freedom. It was a way of speaking. It is like me saying that we will achieve true freedom the day we are a casteless society. Right?
Allow me a rebuttal. So Tuhin Sinha, when the BJP, when the RSS chief uses the word that true freedom was got only last year and not in 1947, it's just a way of speaking. But for Rahul Gandhi, it's treason. It's not a way of speaking when he uses the word Indian state. Because many viewers would also infer from what the RSS chief said that what about the sweat, blood and decades of their lives that are freedom, struggle that many people gave up, are freedom fighters? What about all of that? That tantamounts to nothing?
No, I gave you a parallel. I gave you a parallel. If I say today that, true freedom will come to us the day we become a casteless society, is that treason? Today, will you call that treason? Point is, Rahul Gandhi should ideally have been speaking about the virtues of Indira Gandhi today.
Sir, allow me to open up the panel, give him his time, I'll come back.
Indira Bhavan. Instead, he was obsessed with RSS. Instead, he was obsessed with Mohan Bhagwat ji. And just my last point, for the sake of argument, let us believe that, let us agree for the sake of argument with Rahul Gandhi that yes, BJP and RSS have captured institutions. Even in that case, as a responsible, patriotic Indian, will he fight the Indian state or will he save the Indian state? Why is the Congress so illogically defending the indefensible
my limited point is, allow me to open up the debate, bring in Rajat Sethi and Ashutosh into this conversation, Tuhin Sinha. But the limited point is, if it's kosher, for maybe the RSS chief to, maybe had there was an issue in articulation and he could have used something else, then the same benchmark should be used for Rahul Gandhi. That's all. But allow me to open up the debate, and you can disagree with that. But Rajat Sethi, let me go to Ashutosh first, and I'll come back to you right after that. Ashutosh, not the first time it's happened, is it? The last time around, Rahul Gandhi was in the United Kingdom. He made a speech in an interaction where he seemingly suggested, which again, then there was a lot of explanation by the Congress party, and we're going to play that reaction right now for our viewers, suggested that, you know, the need of foreign powers to intervene in India. Ultimately, he said he never meant that. You had Congress spokesperson who came on Indian, news channels suggesting he never meant that, but there were debates at the back of it. Is there a problem of articulation? Is there a problem of not picking the right words? Because, allow me, can I play that out for you, and I'll come to you, Ashutosh. Let's hear what Rahul Gandhi said last year.
So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone. And frankly, the opposition is fighting that battle, right? And it's not just an Indian battle. It's actually a much more important battle. It is a battle for a huge part of the democratic people.
All right. So this is what he'd said, which caused a fair amount of controversy. Now, therefore, Ashutosh, to say that we are fighting against the RSS, the BJP and the Indian state, the common citizen of this country, what is he to make of it?
See, Preeti, I'm sorry to say this, but the real discussion and debate today should be whether the RSS believes into that India got freedom on 15 August 1947 or not. See, how brazen the RSS can be. Here is a statement by Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. He is saying that India has got a real freedom on 22nd January. Is it not an insult to the Indian constitution? Is it not an insult to the sacrifices made by the freedom fighters? Is it not an insult to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, Patel, Sardar Bose, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, and the whole lot of people? How dare he can say something like this? If this statement has been made by any other leader except RSS or BJP, you would have seen what would have been. This statement of Rahul Gandhi is a nitpicking, and by BJP, it's a diversionary tactic. And I can take this book in front of you, where Deen Dayal Upadhyaya has gone much beyond that anybody could imagine. And this is the official document of the BJP, which accepted the resolution in 1985. This is called integral humanism. And what he writes on the page number 56. और भारत की एकता और अखंडता की धारणा का विरोधी, what he's saying? He's saying that the Indian constitution is against the Indian integrity and Indian unity. इसमें भारत माता की जीवमान चैतन्यमय कल्पना नहीं है. संविधान के प्रथम अनुच्छेद के अनुसार इंडिया अर्थात भारत एक राज्यों का एक संघ है. What he's saying? He's saying Deen Dayal Upadhyaya is saying India is nothing else but a union of states. This is an official document. Then he further says कि अर्थात बिहार माता, बंग माता, पंजाब माता, कन्नड़ माता, तमिल माता आदि माताओं को मिलाकर भारत माता बनेगी. यह हास्यास्पद, इट इज रिडिकुलस. हमने प्रांतों की कल्पना भारत माता के अंगों के रूप में की है, अलग अलग माताओं के रूप में नहीं. अतः हमारा संविधान संघात्मक नौकर. He's totally opposing. He said India should not be a federal state.
One second. Ashutosh, make your point.
I'm only saying is the BJP has turned table just to divert attention from the real statement made by Mohan Bhagwat. See, why he's saying so? Because none of the RSS leader except Head Kewar, who participated in the freedom movement, has never been to the jail.
Okay. But Ashutosh,
writing a letter to the British governor.
As a journalist, we are putting out both sides of the charge today, and I think we should be doing that. Number one. Number two, the debate on the RSS is a part of this debate. Therefore, we have the likes of you on the show. Number three, my question which I asked, and I will bring in Rajat Sethi on this, but okay, let me ask you this question again. You're saying this is nitpicking. One second. Ashutosh, I'm not debating with you. All I'm saying is, you're saying that you're nitpicking. It's not nitpicking, Ashutosh. There's something that the leader of opposition has said. He's used a terminology which could be problematic. We are raising that.
I'm saying RSS chief is saying India did not get real freedom on 15th August 1947. This is the force which has not accepted Indian constitution.
All right. Allow me to bring
March
in
2000, March the Sudarshan ji has said Indian constitution should be scrapped.
Okay, so you're saying we need to focus, just put all our focus on this. Well, we're going to try and get both sides in. Therefore, I want to invite Rajat Sethi, who's been patiently waiting with his finger up to come in and get a word in. Rajat Sethi, bringing you into this conversation, you know, there's a point that Ashutosh is making, is the kind of language or the commentary made by the RSS chief. Number one, doesn't it not insult our freedom fighters? Because to suggest that true independence wasn't got in 1947, but only last year when the Pran Pratishtha happened at the Ram Mandir. Number two, and it's an important point raised by Ashutosh, raised by the Congress spokesperson Rajat, where it's an insult to the constitution there.
Well, Preeti ji, I hope you'll give me some time. The point is, what we just heard Ashutosh ji saying is plain and blatant lie. You should again play what Mohan Bhagwat ji said. Please allow me, have the patience, sir.
Speaker,
have the decency and patience
back
both.
To all of you. I know it's
allow
an emotive,
me to finish my point.
I know as sensitive as it is, it's an emotive topic. All of you are feeling very emotionally charged. You know, I will circle back to each one of you. Allow Rajat Sethi his time. Go ahead.
Me, please. That's why I said my first opening sentence said, please allow me time to speak. What Ashutosh ji said today was blatant lie, and I challenge you, Preeti ji, to again play what Mohan Bhagwat ji said in its entirety. He said that yes, political freedom was attained on the 15th of August 1947, and we are indebted. But we remain a colonized mind for long periods, for long decades since then. The real cultural freedom happened during the Pran Pratishthan. Bharat's Pran was pratisthit on the day when the Ram temple was inaugurated. Now you tell me, haven't there been books written about the fact that we have colonized minds and we need to decolonize our mind? Till we do not actually genuinely decolonize our minds, we will not attain true freedom. Am I not having the freedom to talk and understand which way will, what would be that day when we will attain economic freedom? I still don't believe that poor of this country has still achieved economic freedom. I am within my liberal rights, so to say, to philosophically interpret when will this country attain freedom. Will you start calling me that I am being seditious? This is an open question. Can we not have philosophical discussions in this country anymore? And this is the biggest irony of liberal minds, that all the values, all the liberal values that they espouse for, they stand in practicality against every single ounce of those values. Let me tell you once again today, what Rahul Gandhi said. Rahul Gandhi said that he is against the Indian state. That is quintessentially the definition of treason. That is quintessentially the definition of what sedition sounds and looks like. My problem is that it could be a slip of tongue for a juvenile politician. But here he is the leader of the opposition, no small position, and a very much integral part of the same Indian state that he is proclaiming to fight against and fight nothing less than a war. He's saying that he's going to fight a war against Indian state. These are the words chosen by the leader of the opposition.
All right. You know what I'm going to do?
Again, I'm saying, do I not have a freedom to interpret when will my country be truly, genuinely out of the clutches of colonial past, not just of the British, but of almost a millennia of subjugation from various foreign rulers who ruled our country?
Okay. All right. You know, that passionate submission made by Rajat Sethi. What I'm going to do is, let's get our producers, and I think we do have the protracted part of the speech made by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. Let's just play that once. I think we do have it. I think we do. Let's listen in. We took that entire, you know, what you've heard till now is just a crisp soundbite. We're going to try and extend that and play it for our viewers, and we'll circle back to each one of you, and you'll get equal time. Let's listen in.
प्रतिष्ठा द्वादशी, पौष शुक्ल द्वादशी का नया नामकरण हुआ। पहले हम कहते थे वैकुंठ एकादशी, वैकुंठ द्वादशी, अब उसको प्रतिष्ठा द्वादशी कहना है, क्योंकि अनेक शतकों से परचक्र झेलने वाले भारत के सच्चे स्वतंत्रता की प्रतिष्ठा उस दिन हो गई। स्वतंत्रता थी, प्रतिष्ठित नहीं थी। क्योंकि भारत स्वतंत्र हुआ 15 अगस्त को, तो राजनीतिक स्वतंत्रता हमको मिल गई। हमारा भाग्य निर्धारण करना हमारे हाथ में आ गया। हमने एक संविधान भी बनाया, एक विशिष्ट दृष्टि जो भारत के अपने स्व से निकलती है, उसमें से वो संविधान दिग्दर्शित हुआ। लेकिन उसके जो भाव है उसके अनुसार चला नहीं।
All right, so you heard Mr. Mohan Bhagwat there, where Charan Singh Sapra, I know you've been wanting to come in, so I'll come right back to you. So what he did say, and I think we all heard that, there was a long protracted bite where he said that political freedom was got in 1947, but Pran Pratishtha should be the true liberation day for Indians. That's what he seemed to suggest. He also spoke about the constitution, and where he said that the bhav of it wasn't implemented, and I would reckon the interpretation would that be that it wasn't implemented in spirit. That is what the RSS chief wanted to say. Now, coming back to you, Charan Singh Sapra, on what Rahul Gandhi said, the question, Ashutosh says it's nitpicking, but that's the nature of politics, that's the nature of the beast, and this is the dangal that you're actually in. So there will be a lot of nitpicking, especially if the statement comes in from the leader of opposition.
See, Preeti, if you have played the statement of Mr. Mohan Bhagwat in entirety, which Rajat Sethi demanded from you, you should have also played the statement of Shri Rahul Gandhi in entirety. Then you would have known the context, what Rahul Gandhi was talking about. He was talking about the institutions, he was talking about the agencies, how the agencies are cherry picking, they are doing selective and vindictive actions on opposition leaders. That's what Rahul Gandhi was talking. So, no, that's what I'm saying. There should be a level playing field on your channel also.
Sir, 100% you will have a level playing field, and we will play that. We will play exactly what you demanded. Yeah. We will play that out. You want it right now before you make your submissions? Yeah. I'll do it.
And the other thing. No, it's okay. I can speak first, and then you can.
Please make your point.
And secondly, BJP or RSS, this is not the first time they have spoken like this. They are the habitual offenders. Earlier, Prime Minister had once said कि असली हमको independence जो है वो तो 2014 में मिला है. Kangana Ranaut had said the same thing. Now, worst part is that today Mr. Mohan Bhagwat has equated himself with Kangana Ranaut. Tomorrow, now this is also vindication of BJP leaders who had earlier said, कि 400 पार हो जाएंगे तो हम संविधान बदल देंगे. अरुण गोविल, लल्लू सिंह, दिया कुमारी and Anand Kumar Hegde, all these leaders have been saying this. ये तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर दिया, नहीं तो ये तो संविधान बदल देते. नरेंद्र मोदी संविधान विरोधी, नरेंद्र मोदी आरक्षण विरोधी. This is there in public, and the way BJP spokesperson or Rajat Sethi was explaining, they mean to say कि हम करें तो चमत्कार, कोई और करे तो गुनेगार. They are cherry picking. We are not doing any cherry picking over here. We are just quoting the statement of Mohan Bhagwat. We are quoting the statement of Kangana Ranaut and Narendra Modi and saying that they are the habitual offenders. Tomorrow, Mohan Bhagwat will say कि हमको आजादी तब मिलेगी जब हम आरक्षण हटा देंगे. Is this going to happen in this country? This is what Mohan Bhagwat wants to do. They have been already against. They have been against the reservation. They have been against the constitution. Okay. Not only Mohan Bhagwat, I can quote Manmohan Vaidya also, I can quote their earlier leader also, those who have been speaking against the Constitution of India. They have burned the copies of Constitution, they have burned the effigies of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. What are they talking?
You're saying there's political precedence to it. Okay, let's get Rahul Gandhi's entire reaction to Mohan Bhagwat's bite. Let's listen in.
We are getting new headquarters at a very particular time. I think it's quite symbolic that yesterday, in a speech, the chief of the RSS said that India never achieved independence in 1947. He said that true independence in India was achieved when the Ram Mandir was built. This building, it is not an ordinary building. It has emerged from the soil of our country, and it has emerged as a result of the hard work and sacrifice of millions of people. The fruit of that movement, which was the Constitution, which was essentially attacked yesterday by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat when he says that the Constitution was not the symbol of our freedom. But also after that, thousands of our workers died in Punjab, thousands of our workers died in Kashmir, thousands of our workers died in the Northeast. And so this party has stood for a particular set of values. And we can see those values in this building. Do not think that we are fighting a fair fight. There is no fairness in this. If you believe that we are fighting a political organization called the BJP, that we are fighting a political organization called the RSS, you have not understood what is going on. The BJP and the RSS have captured every single institution of our country. We are now fighting the BJP, the RSS, and the Indian state itself.
All right, so you heard that, and like Charan Singh Sapra said, that what he clearly meant was an Indian state that was entrenched in terms of captured institution by the RSS and the BJP. At least that was the allegation of Rahul Gandhi. I'm sure everyone's happy we've played out both statements in totality. But Tuhin Sinha, we live, I think, whether we admit or we don't admit.
I have to speak.
I'll come, sir, I have to go to Tuhin Sinha and I'll come to you. It's a cycle. It's one by one, sir.
You allowed Ranjan Sethi to pass a personal comment on me.
I will come to you, sir. Allow me to bring in Tuhin Sinha. One second. Okay, you know, everyone, okay. We're having a very civil debate, and Ashutosh, I promise you I will come to you right after Tuhin Sinha. And you will have as much time as Rajat Sethi had. And you're allowed to explain yourself in detail. But Tuhin Sinha, whether we admit or we deny it, we live in highly polarizing times, number one. Number two, when a statement like that comes in from the RSS chief because he holds an acute position of power and influence importantly, then why shouldn't questions be raised as we raise on the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi? Because there are many people where he did say that we got our political freedom then, but our real freedom came only last year. There are many people who might associate, of course, the blood, sweat and life of our freedom fighters aside, who do feel that 1947 was our moment where of cultural, social, spiritual independence, liberation for all of us came with that. So isn't that an insult if it came from anyone else? Understood? But when it comes from the RSS chief, why shouldn't questions be raised?
Point number one, you know, you didn't have to play out Rahul Gandhi's whole bite because the most stinging statement comes in the end. If the leader of opposition does not understand what the Indian state means, he has no business carrying on as the leader of opposition. He should quit. He should, you know, go into a profession which is more suited for him. The Indian state encompasses all organs of the state. It encompasses
BJP
all pillars of democracy.
Sir, allow him your time. You got to come on
with the Indian state. Please don't barge in now.
Don't embarrass me
Please
by
don't
putting
barge
your
in.
fader down. Can I just get to him?
Please don't barge in.
Everyone calm down. Go ahead,
You are
make your point.
invested in him. We are not invested in him. He has no business continuing as leader of opposition if he starts speaking the language of certain groups which are inimical to India. And I don't even want to name those groups. Now coming to Mohan Bhagwat ji's statement. Mohan Bhagwat ji, you know, there is not even not the remotest way has he disputed India's independence. What he, you know, the basic difference over here arises because both BJP and the Congress party view our history differently. For us, India is a civilizational nation which goes back 7,000 years. For Congress party, the history started in 1195 AD after the invasion of, Qutbuddin Aibak and Alauddin Khilji. So obviously they are enamored of that place, but it's a fact that, the cultural subservience which had started with the destruction of temples, 40,000 temples and all, ended on the day of Pran Pratishtha. And honestly, I don't see why Rahul Gandhi should be so offended by that statement, except that the memory of Pran Pratishtha still produces rage in Rahul Gandhi, it still produces, animosity in Rahul Gandhi. There is no other reason for him that offended, because even Rajat Sethi has very clearly articulated on Mohan Bhagwatji's statement, and there is absolutely nothing wrong in it. I, in fact, gave you a parallel in my starting comments itself.
Okay. But, also, Tuhin Sen, as I bring in Ashutosh into this conversation, there are many of us who feel very emotive of 1947 and our independence of 1947, far more than just political. Just saying it out there. There are many of us out there. All right. Now, Ashutosh, you wanted to come in for a rebuttal to what Rajat Sethi said. Please go ahead, sir. I'm running out of time, but I'll give you enough time, and Rajat as well.
See, Preeti, normally I don't take anybody's name. I don't make any personal comment. But it is a habit of the BJP and their covert supporters. They will take my name and they'll call all kinds of things. I condemn it in its strongest possible word. I don't indulge into these kind of things. And that's why I get very agitated, because I get into their skin, and that is why they get very worried and agitated. Did you listen what Ranjan Sethi has said in their statement? He thinks that Mahatma Gandhi's mind was colonized. He thinks Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's mind was colonized. He thinks Madan Mohan Malviya's mind was colonized. He thinks Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose was colonized. And those minds of the great freedom fighter needs to be decolonized. How insulting, humiliating is the statement by this? These are juvenile statements. They are illiterates. They know nothing about Indian freedom movement. They have never participated. When the freedom fighters were sacrificing for their life, they were hiding. They are collaborating with the Britishers. When even Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and Golwalkar had said that those who are sacrificing their life, they cannot be the ideal. These are the statements made by Golwalkar himself. These are the cowards, in my opinion. I don't want to use these words. But if for them Mahatma Gandhi's mind was a colonized mind, they should apologize. They should know what they're talking about. Do you think, Preeti, that Mahatma Gandhi was a colonized mind? Somebody who has given everything for the country. He sacrificed everything for the country. And this man sitting on his panel is calling that India was colonized then. And India got decolonized only on 22nd January 2024. How ridiculous, insulting for the freedom fighters. They will not realize this because they have never participated in the Indian freedom movement. They have never sacrificed. Their people had never gone to the gallows. And that is
Can I
allow him, sir. I'll come to you.
Ashutosh has had a time to rant. Now to rant as well.
Now, no, I get, okay. Let's instead of a rant, let's just call it a healthy debate. That's what we've indulged until now. 10 seconds. Okay, Ashutosh, 10 seconds. Are you done, sir? Are you done?
This book is clearly anti-constitution. Doesn't believe. They are RSS. This Mr. Sudarshan said the Indian constitution should be scrapped. Can you believe it?
All right. Can I give? All right. You've made your submissions. Ashutosh, you've made your submissions. Okay.
From inferiority complex.
All right. I'm going to, that's why I've got a stopwatch now to maybe put everybody on a timer. Go ahead, Rajat Sethi. I know you want to respond.
Well, your viewers are better judged to that. I was clear in what I said. I said there have been books written. Even at least in my university at Harvard, there used to be courses around decolonizing colonized minds in the erstwhile colonies of the British Empire. These are deliberations which will happen. These are classic liberal arts deliberations. And, as an engineer, it was an eye-opening thing for me that although I assume that I'm living in free India, I'm still being bogged down by all these, invisible hands of the colonial powers that existed. That am I truly a self-confident free Indian to the extent that possibly a free American is? That's where the real debate is. And I don't understand. It's not even a personal remark. I just wanted to correct what Ashutosh said about Mohan Bhagwat. It's an objective statement. I didn't venture into sort of qualifying like whether Mahatma Gandhi's mind was colonized or not. Obviously not. But there are lakhs and lakhs of Indians who had to go through that exercise and were still going through that exercise. Again, my grandparents had to migrate. They were refugees in this country. They lost everything in the battle when our nation, when Bharat Mata was dismembered. And all our patriots who sacrificed their lives never hoped for a dismemberment of our country. That blot will remain on the Congress party till I am alive, till my generations are alive.
Okay, all right, you're done, Rajat? All right. I will give you all 20 seconds each. I know each one of you want to come in, and that's when I'm closing the debate. Charan Singh Sapra, your time begins now.
See, Preeti, BJP doesn't want to talk about the real issues of the country. We want independence from the increasing inflation. We want the independence from the rising unemployment. We want independence from, the increasing trade deficit. We want independence from the way the rupee is falling, or the MSMEs are being affected, or the manufacturing industry is being affected, the whole trade is being affected, the entire economy of the country is being affected. Where is the GDP? Let the BJP or the RSS people answer. How are they going to raise the GDP? We want independence from this. They just want to go into irrelevant issues and take the country to a different side and make a narrative.
20 seconds, sir. Please go.
Well, in as much as I despise Rahul Gandhi for what he said today, I also appreciate the fact that he was in a confessional mode. That is exactly what he has been doing in the last few years, fighting the Indian state. And I can give you multiple examples, whether it was hobnobbing with the Chinese officials when Doklam was underway, whether it was, bringing his caste politics into the army. There are multiple examples. So I think he was in a confessional mode, and ideally, if he wants to rethink, he should apologize to the nation.
All right. Okay. Ashutosh ji, go ahead.
See, I'm glad that at least Rajat tried to clarify his position, but this is the RSS, which had called Gandhi's assassination as a Gandhi Vad, distributed sweets and we are happy and rejoiced. I don't need sermons from these people. I know their history from the back of everything. But today, I think the issue is, whatever the Mohan Bhagwat has said, he should apologize to the nation. He owes country needs an apology from the RSS.
Rajat.
He has called India's freedom movement. He has called India when India got independence, not a true independence. What do you mean by this?
Okay, sir. Rajat ji, go ahead.
Well, Preeti ji, allow freedom of thoughts and ideas to propagate. Let's all have our own versions when our minds have genuinely been purified and living in a truly free country. That is going to be our individual assessment of this scenario, and I don't think anybody should call it a treason. This reeks of emergency mindset, and Rahul Gandhi should avoid the same streak as his grandmother used to have.
All right, we're going to end it there. Treason, sedition, we leave it for our viewers to decide. On the other hand, we're very proud of the Indian state, and also very, very proud of 1947 being our Independence Day. Now, the mysterious death of Goppan Swami in Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram has ignited protests and legal battles. His family claims he took samadhi, but suspicions from locals led to a police investigation. Despite court orders, investigations in the matter, the situation remains tense with a divided community and ongoing debates about faith. Here's the full report.
A mysterious death in Neyyantinkara near Thiruvananthapuram has sparked angry protest and a courtroom battle. Goppan Swami, known as Manian, reportedly died on January 9. Goppan's wife and sons buried the body in secret, later claiming that their father had died in a meditative pose and instructed no one to witness his passing. The family's actions drew the attention of locals, who questioned the circumstances and filed a police complaint. The district administration on Monday tried to exhume the body, but protests by the family foiled the move.
Hindu സംഘടനകളും ഹിന്ദു ഐക്യവേദിയും തന്നെയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അവരൊരു തീരുമാനം എടുക്കട്ടെ. ഇതിന്റെ ശരിയും തെറ്റും അവർ തന്നെ തീരുമാനം എടുക്കട്ടെ. അവർ പറയട്ടെ. പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ബാക്കിയുള്ള തീരുമാനങ്ങൾ എടുക്കുന്നതാണ് നല്ലത്.
Local citizens have called for a thorough investigation.
ഇവിടെ എന്താണ് സംഭവിച്ചതെന്ന് നാട്ടുകാർ അറിയണം. അതാണ് എൻ്റെ മെയിൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആവശ്യം. പിന്നെ പൊളിച്ചു നോക്കി പോസ്റ്റ്മോർട്ടം ചെയ്തു നോക്കണം പുള്ളിക്ക് എന്താ സംഭവിച്ചതെന്ന്. അതാണ് എൻ്റെ വ്യക്തിപരമായ ആവശ്യം.
The Kerala High Court on Wednesday took up a plea by Goppan's family against police action. The court, however, refused to stay exhumation of Goppan's body, stating the need for an investigation into the death. With Shivimol KG from Thiruvananthapuram, Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, let's cut across right now to Prayagraj with the Mahakumbh underway in full swing. There are the Babas that have gone viral on social media. Ayatian Baba, Kabutar Baba, and even an Air Force Baba have come calling at the Kumbh.
As a journalist, I'm someone who's working, right? I find fulfillment in my work. So were you not finding that fulfillment, or was it that you were seeking more?
No, see, when you say fulfillment, no, that is like santosh, what you say. It's contentment.
Content, yeah.
So that is a much better word than fulfillment. Okay. Because fulfillment means that you are looking to fill something. Yeah. Contentment means that you are like, accepting whatever is there. Okay. Even 30% glass is full, that is fine. You are not trying to fill it like 100%. Yeah. So when you are doing that, then every moment you are being. You are being in the moment, you are being with it. Yeah. And then if the glass fills or it gets empty, then it is fine.
So you don't regret any of what you did?
No,
the fact that, you know, you studied hard, you learned all that you did. You feel that even today that helps you?
Yeah, obviously.
So it's part of your journey?
It's part of the journey, like because I have studied like, science also, I have studied like arts also. So it's like left side of the brain, right side of the brain, logical brain versus intuitive brain. Yeah. So then obviously you can see life more deeply. And then when you connect that also like with the spirituality and like the truth, then you can make the entire graph like complete sense of it.
Because it's always shown as a versus, science versus spirituality. You've done both. So that's why I asked.
Me, actually spirituality is the real science. So that's what I'm trying to like establish. Yeah. So it's like when we say numbers, no. So there are like so many rishis over there, like they have given like Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is essentially like understanding numbers. So when you understand truth in terms of number, then you do Sankhya Yoga. So different ways, like, geometry also, if you see. So why are these Rishi Munis like, sitting in like Adhyatmikta and then studying about astronomy? You can say the same thing. Like, why are you interested in graphs and all of this when all you have to do is like find the peace inside? But they did, right? It's kind of like researcher only. They are researching the outside world and the inside world both.
Joining me now is Baba Someshwarji, who I've had a very interesting conversation with already. Babaji, tell us about your story. You left the Air Force to become a sadhu. What triggered that? And I know you've made several others also, join this ascetic life.
This is, it has, now I know, now had you asked me this question some time back, maybe the answer would have been different. I would have said I was interested in this, or otherwise this prompted me, that was inspiration. But now I know we don't do anything, it happens.
If I were to getting into this, does it always mean sacrificing everything else in your career, your entire life, changing it completely?
Nothing. Everyone. Work is sacrifice. That's why karma is called yoga. Any work. You are sacrificing. You could relax with your friends, go for a movie in this cold climate. Otherwise, you can sit at home having mummy made hot potato, hot, whatever it is. Otherwise, order, wo kya hai aajkal? Phone karte paisa aata hai. That all that you can do. But this is not sacrifice. This is not karma. You are trying to pass on what's happening. News. Collecting. Same thing we are doing. Nobody is big, nobody is small. Now you have sacrificed everything and I have come here. Nobody is sacrificing anything. Because you have nothing to sacrifice. What is that you have to sacrifice, you tell me? What is that you brought when you came into this world? You have not even bought a ticket. You are a ticketless traveler.
Well, that last piece of advice, take it all the way back to the political debate. What have you brought to this world? Well, politics not for the Kumbh. A quick break. Do stay with us. On the other side, news and updates continue. We have Gaurav Sawant. We'll see you tomorrow.